Hi students, I received some feedback. Some of you are struggling with assignment 2. Some of you don't really know what to do next. So over the next few minutes, I'll give you an outline of the paper I'm looking for. Now, this is just a suggestion. You can do it differently, that's up to you. But this is for students who are actually struggling. Now, your paper should have 4 sections. The introduction, TM challenges, TM or talent management initiatives, and final recommendation section. You can have many more paragraphs, but these are the important sections that you should have. Okay, now in the introduction section, you have what is talent management and why is talent management important. So you must read a couple of books, then tell me what is talent management and why is it important. Now I've given you examples. I've shown you how you can actually talk about what is talent management and why it's important. You can follow these examples, you can follow this format. Okay, so what is more important here, you must find textbooks and journal articles that talk about it and cite it and reference. Now I just want to remind you that citing and referencing is very important in this paper. If you want to pass, you need 5 scholarly citing and references, and you want to get distinction, you must have at least 10. So when marking my paper, one of the first thing I look for is citing and referencing. You must cite scholarly journal articles and textbooks. In this section, you might also want to talk about HSBC. Who is HSBC? What do they do? Where are they? Who are the employees like? What do they employ? Who do they employ? But I think it should be a short one. The focus is not about HSBC background, but it's about talent management. Now you might end this introduction section with the purpose. And here I've given you an example there. You check it out. Now in this section you should be looking at the challenges. Okay, here you're looking at about what is happening now. What is the trend now that is affecting the company's ability to attract, motivate, and keep talent? Now, what is happening now that is making it more difficult for companies to manage their talent, to attract, motivate, and keep their talent? I put up globalization and workforce diversity. These are the 2 trends or 2 things that's happening in the world now that actually is making it more difficult for companies to attract and keep their talent. Okay, so you should tell me globalization. What, why, and how does globalization make it more difficult for companies to manage talent? And also in line with that, I also talk about workforce diversity. Okay, now a good example with globalization would be Google. Google goes around the world looking for good employees, qualified employees, and skilled employees. If you're good, you're talented, you're skilled, you are experienced, and you can easily go to Google and find a job. And you see that lots of talented Indian workers, lots of talented Japanese, Korean workers go to Google and work. Now talented employees in this world, talented employees find it easy to go around the world to look for a job. They are very mobile. Okay, now with globalization, what we have is workforce diversity. Okay, I've shown you a video before, about Apple. Companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook have a very diverse workforce, and in part that's due to globalization. Okay, diverse workforce means the employees come from everywhere. The employees come from different countries, they come from different cultures, they have different religion, they have different genders. Okay, so Google, Facebook, Apple, they have very diverse workforce. So the issue here with these companies is, how do you attract motivate, and keep this very mobile and diverse workforce? Okay, Google, the employees come from all around the world, and then their workers can go anywhere and work, okay, because they're very talented. So with this kind of employees, how does Google, what do they do to attract these mobile and diverse workers? How do they attract them? How do they motivate them? And how do they keep them? That is a very important issue. That is a key issue of this paper. Okay, now in the next section, you'll see the TM initiatives. This section is about what can companies do? What are some of the measures they can take? What are some of the initiatives they can implement to ensure they are able to attract, motivate, and keep good talent? Okay, some examples are given here is compensation, job design, career path, and work culture. These are general. Okay, what you should cover really depends on your challenges that you have identified. The specific initiative that you should write would depend on the challenges that you have talked about or you have covered. Okay, so on my part, I've talked about in this paper, I talked about globalization and workforce diversity. So you should talk about how compensation can help attract a diverse workforce. How compensation can help attract and keep a diverse workforce. You should also talk about how job design can help attract and keep a diverse workforce. Okay, you should also talk about what, why, and how. For example, compensation. Okay, what is compensation? Why compensation? And how does compensation help Google attract and keep a diverse workforce? And you might also talk about the benefits and limitations. Okay, so writing this paper demands skilled writing, but like I mentioned you before, okay, writing takes practice. The more you write, the better you become. Okay, so before I end this section, these are just examples I've given you, examples of things that companies can do to attract and keep diverse workforce. But your solution would depend on your challenges that you have identified earlier. So, but important, what I'm looking for is, generally in your whole paper, good marks will depend on reading. I want to see readings. I want to see understanding. If you write a readable, understandable paper and you show that you have read a lot of papers and there's a lot of citing and referencing, I'll give you a good mark. Okay. Your final section is about, you should come up with this is where you actually list out the plan. You should tell me exactly what and when will you do. What will you do exactly and when, so that HSBC ability to manage their talent, attracting, motivating, and keeping the talent will be enhanced. What exactly will they do? Is it compensation? Tell me exactly what compensation, when will you give them, how, what. Basically, you need to tell me exactly what are some of the things that HSBC should do so that they are better able to manage their talent over the next 10 years. Okay. Now, again, let me iterate. When reading your paper, when reading your paper, I'm looking at whether you have read, when marking your paper, I'm really looking at whether you have read and whether you understand what you have read. That's about it. And if I see sufficient reading, and that is illustrated by, if I seen sufficient reading, if I seen sufficient understanding, and I see lots and lots of citing referencing, I'll give you a good mark. Okay. And also your paper should be organized and readable. Something that I can read and understand very fast. Okay. If I read a few sentences, I cannot understand, I don't know what you're saying, that's it. You won't get a terribly good mark. So your paper should be readable, understandable, simple, organized, lots of citing and referencing, shows that you have read lots of textbooks, lots of journal articles, and know what you're talking about. Then I give you a good mark. So that's about it. I hope this video helps you, and I think this is one of my first videos. There'll be more to help you in this semester. So take care. Hope that you had a good break, and remember your paper is due next Friday 5 p.m. 8 December 5 p.m. See you later. Take care.